Hello and welcome to the CSR Journal. Today we have Ashish Chauhan from BSc with us. Welcome to the chat, sir. Like to know about activities, CSR activities that BSc has been taking up initiative.
BSE being the largest exchange in the world in terms of the number of stocks listed and also the oldest exchange in Asia, it takes leadership in all the socially relevant activities that takes place, especially relating to corporate world. So Indian Companies Act 2013, which was enacted in 2013, specifies that 2% of the profits of companies beyond a particular size has to be spent on the CSR activities, and that has actually opened up a lot of opportunities for corporate sector to also show their might or show their connect to the social sector. BSE has been taking up several projects. One of them is what we call CSR exchange called Samman. BSE, Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs, and CII, Confederation of Indian Industry, put together have created this new platform called Samman, where all the companies which are setting up different CSR projects with any NGOs they want is basically to be reported on BSE's platform, Samman CSR Exchange, where anyone else like you and me or any other person can go and check out which company is spending what type of money on which projects and what are the results, what is the progress, and so on and so forth. So that actually brings out transparently all the results and all the spend that is taking place in Indian corporate sector under this particular act. And the second project BSE has taken up with the Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs is to create a framework called CSR Index, which will ensure that the companies would be able to measure themselves against the best practices in CSR, and also measure saying which sort of area or which quartile they themselves find in terms of measuring their own activities vis-a-vis rest of the corporate sector in India. So BSE has been working with various government agencies and also industry associations to ensure that corporate sector is well aware, because I think civil society, NGOs are pretty much covered. They are aware. BSE's Samman has already got more than 1,600 crore rupees of projects reported by the NGOs, and we are now trying to attract the companies to come and report their spend and also their association and their projects, as well as the results they are getting out of the projects.
Will BSc Samman be linked to CSR index in any ways to measure the impact or spending?
Absolutely. In a sense, these are all part of the holistic framework which BSE is trying to set up for the entire corporate India to measure itself and also become transparent and so on and so forth. So, in some sense, all these are connected activities, and we have to not only make this index but also make people aware about it, the corporates, the NGOs, the media, and so on and so forth. So, we will also be doing a lot of training activities as and when the index framework is coming out.
What is the target of having this index in place?
It should take probably a few months maximum, because the process started in 2013. Only thing is the first year was to report was last year, and so many companies have not by that time had not formed their CSR committees and their policies and so on and so forth. Slowly all companies are doing it, so still the data which is required is much more scanty, and we need to get more and more data to sort of prove a certain hypothesis, and so it would take a few months, if not more, for us to come out with those indices.
To understand it better, I would like to know, would BSc be doing the impact assessment of companies? Will that be in terms of them being registered with you, or will it be across? So if you can tell us more about it.
So basically BSE's CSR Samman framework is about reporting what you are doing, and then if any impact assessment is there, that also can be reported on the exchange. So there are many companies, many agencies which do impact assessment. BSE is basically a platform in which you can report all this, you can make it transparent, and so we would not ourselves be doing any impact assessment, but we would be basically giving more data to people. Whatever data you are reporting as corporates, we would be giving it to the public at large, available free of cost in terms of information and all the progress, all the money spent, and so on and so forth. So it's a more like what work you are doing. It's just that ours is a much more sort of regulated and regularized work where everyone has to report their activities on a standardized basis.
Now you are a platform. I mean, BSE is a platform for a number of corporates. What would you suggest, as measures to ensure sustainability along with profits?
I think ultimately corporates have to realize that they have to continue to be part of the society and justify their existence to the society, and that's why each corporate has to take up the causes which are closer to the societies they operate in, the areas they work in, and that's how basically each and every corporate has to either do it on alone or probably with many other corporates to achieve the results which we want to. Ultimately, every Indian's aim is to improve the quality of life in India, and whatever causes anyone is close to or wants to work on should be sort of promoted to ensure that finally we have a better India going forward.
Do you think the CSR framework in India needs stricter monitoring or stricter rule framework?
Already, India is a pioneer in creating a framework for CSR. Means India is the only country practically in the world which has CSR enshrined in the law, and that's why I think we have gone pretty far as a society. And there is, of course, a lot of expectations from corporates by the youngsters and also the young population of India that they promote the growth of India, the equality, and also ensure that poor and downtrodden are sort of also given opportunities using various means. Also, government is doing their job, and the corporates also have to contribute. And that's why, for me, it is important to promote these activities more by way of coming through the heart rather than trying to be too sort of highly regulated. Already we are pretty much on top of the curve in terms of regulations, and slowly at the same time, for me, for the sake of reporting, for the sake of making people aware of what you are doing, some broader regulations would evolve, and it has to evolve in a what I call consensus framework rather than sort of coming out of sort of a diktat.
If you have to tell us what is CSR to you, how would you put it?
For me, corporate social responsibility is a major onus on all of us who run corporates, who are working for corporates, that ultimately the corporates are made up of humans. Corporates are not outside the societies, and they have to end up becoming part of the society, and they have to continue to ensure that the societies they operate in prosper and have better opportunities for everyone. So for me, it is a great framework that has been created by the Parliament of India under Indian Companies Act 2013, and every corporate, the largest to smallest, have accepted that without any opposition at all. And so that shows how Indian corporate world has also been wanting to participate in the betterment of Indian sort of culture, population, and society.
Thank you so much for joining us and giving us your time. Thank you, sir.